Hey, Matt Man's back with my second multi-denominational hunt. This hunt is to get all of my hunts back up to the even boxes after I completed my sister's $374 worth of change. So I just figured out what I needed and made a box for each denomination. So, quite a bit there to hunt. I'm going to start with the pennies and work my way up again. In the original search from my sister, I had $11.27. So I need $13.73 to make a complete box. And there it is. Let's see what's in it. Alright, I have 15 rolls left, so I'm about halfway through doing my sorting. And here's the roll I'm working on, and that's the first wheat I've come up with. Looks a little old. And then just before I was going to film it, I noticed that. That's going to be a CRHing. So, it all happens at once. It's a 1929. Well, good for me. And let's see what the CRHing is. $1940, pre-war. 13 rolls left. Isn't that one of the slickest wheat ears you've ever seen? A 1934 Denver. Okay, it's the next roll. And there's another one. This one looks a little more modern. Yep, 57 Denver. I also found a 64 young head earlier. There are 8 rolls left. And here's something I don't see much of. An ender. So let's see what that is. And it is another 57 Denver. See if there's anything else in here real quick. Well, that's a 55 Denver with a little red on it. What else? Give me more. And a young head. 1963. Alright, all good things. I have 4 rolls left. And gotta have a wheat sticking out here. 1942 Denver. Fumble. It's the first one in the 40s. 3 rolls left. A 1947 San Francisco. I'm on the last roll. Got a little parting gift. 1956 Denver. So I'll finish that up. Look for my airs. I think I let that get a little bit out of hand. And we'll see what's in there. I finished up my variety search. And the first one I came up with is this 1976 Philly. This is going to be the DDO. And when I look on Variety Vista, there are two varieties and they both match. What I look for on these is the terminus here between the top of the end of the G and the bottom of the end of the G, and that's very narrow. The O has a unique look to it also. So when I do the comparison, I believe the 001 is the better choice. Next up I have this 1999 Denver. It's a what I call statue airs, and this one has the doubling on the 7th column all the way from his shoulder to his ankle. So this one would be the DDR003. We have the same doubling. No markers on this one. Now I come to this 2013 Philly, and there's definitely doubling going on here. I see it in the hump of the 2 and in the 0, and specifically this notch here at 11 o'clock, and then again down here about 5:30. Now when we look on Variety Vista, they only have one example, the 001, and it doesn't match. The 0 goes the other way. It's position, the doubling point is positioned more at 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And the 2 has a thickness more on the base and more of a notch on the upper part. So not a match there. But when I go to Wexler, they have 14 varieties listed. Variety Vista has 1, Wexler has 14. One of the reasons why I don't like to go to Wexler, there's just so much to look at. Good when you find an air and try to identify it. Not so good if you want a list of airs to try to find, if that makes any sense. But you can tell this one matches up a lot better. The middle part of the 2 is right. The upper part of the 2 is right. The 0 is correct. Everything else looks good. So we're going to call this a WDDO013. Here are the rest of my finds. Probably the find of the hunt is this 29 Philadelphia in a solid G4. And I need that in my book. Next up is this 34 Denver. I don't know, you can either call it damaged or AG. I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. But I don't have this one in my book either. So we can let this one hold the place. Put that right there. Then I came up with a 42 Denver, a 47 San Francisco, 55 Denver, 256 Denvers, 257 Denvers. I know everybody likes to show the 69 San Franciscos, so try to beat that one. Little schmoots on the back though. And an 82 small date copper filly. And then in the Canadians, a 1940 KG6 in good shape. You know, I guess a very fine on that one. And then I had 3 young heads, 2 63s and a 64. And the rest were 68, 69, 74, 84, and 2 87s. And last but certainly not least for me is this 1982 filly zinc large date. Now you say, what's so special about that? It's in good shape, and it's the first one I found in 11 boxes that can go in my book, which will go there, and then that will complete the book. Now, there's some upgrades I need to do in there, but it's always nice to fill a book. And I nearly forgot. In those 2 hunts, I had 3 pounds 4 ounces of copper, which is tied for my least productive out of the 11 boxes I've done. Still good though. So for this hunt, I had 1 pound 6 ounces in the first one, so that means I got 1 pound 14 ounces in this one. I'm moving on to the dimes next, because when I added up the nickels, I discovered I was 3 rolls short. So I'm on the 5th roll in, and I'm doing the bank wrap rolls first. And when I do it so I can look at the edges. And when I saw this one, I saw that corroded, that dirty edge there, and I thought I had just an ugly coin. But when I got to it, that's silver. So this is just going to end up in my stack anyway, so I'm going to shine this up and see what it looks like. Okay, so I used some of this old silver polish here. Do not do this if the coin has any kind of numismatic value. But for coins you throw in your stack, what the hell. So I did the best I could, and it did not shine up. So I think this coin was in a fire. That's the first silver I have found coin roll hunting, period. This is my 2nd box of dimes. I've had 4 boxes of quarters. I've had 4 boxes of $50. This is the first. Okay, I'm on the 14th roll of this hunt, and I don't know if you can see what I see, but I think right here that looks like a silvery edge, not very bright though. Well, look at that. Lightning has struck twice. So that's a 1941 Philadelphia. When it rains, it pours. Let's see if we can find some more. I have 20 rolls left, and it's like some sort of a 4 in there. I'm going to guess a Mexican 10 centavo. Yep. 2006. Very common. I have 7 rolls left, And on this one, I see two edges. Now, looking at them close, I think they're both Canadian. So we got this one right here, and now I lose my focus. Yep, that's a Canadian. Right there. An 89 and an 83. To go with this 94 I found earlier. I finished with the dimes. Let's start on the bottom here. I had 5 Canadians, 75 through 2019. I had a 2006 10 centavo from Mexico, and my first silver ever coin roll hunting. So this is obviously the find of the hunt right here. It's a common Merc, 1941 Philly, in decent shape. You know, I call that, oh, that's a VF anyway. That'll just go in the stack. And this 1952 Denver that was either in a fire, which I think, or it could have been dug up. If it was dug up, I would think it would have more corrosion on it, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. All right, I'm going to move on to the quarters. So to complete the quarter box, I need $215.75. And there it is. Let's see what we find. So I got those 21.5 rolls all sorted out into eagle backs, state quarters, national parks or America the Beautiful, the Washington crosses the Delaware, and the American women quarters. So that's what 21.5 rolls looks like. I did also have 2 Canadians. They are a 78 and a 2009. I finished searching the statehood, DC, and territorial quarters, and I came up with 2 heirs. There were no varieties. I don't have any additions to the book. I have these dozen coins to check for upgrades. Let's take a look here at these heirs. First one I got is this Kansas, and the heir's a DDO, and it's the typical In God We Rust, but this one, too much of the God is missing, and the T is slightly there, so I really don't know how to classify this one. There's definitely a grease slick on there. It's definitely covering up the G and the T, but it doesn't really read In God We Rust. So let me know what you think about that one. And the other one is this Alaska, and the air on this one, of course, is the chip on the claw. I keep saving these up to get the best one I can find, but that's not too bad. So let me go ahead and go through these dozen and see if we have any upgrades. I'm replacing the 2000 Denver, Massachusetts. Well, that was quick and easy. Just had the one Massachusetts Denver upgrade. On to the national parks. Okay, for the America the Beautiful series, I have one edition. It's the War in the Pacific for Guam. Not the best shape, but it can hold the place for a while. And then I have 11 I want to check against the ones I have. And I have one air coin. It is the die chip over the hat, common one. And I've seen them much better. But again, I'm collecting these up and we'll decide on the best one later. So I'm going to go ahead and check these against the book and add my new coin. I'm going to upgrade the 2016 Philadelphia Theodore Roosevelt. I'm going to add the 2019 Denver War in the Pacific representing Guam. It's not in the best shape. It'll just hold the spot. And we'll finish off with the American Women quarters. I am going to be adding this Bessie Coleman Denver quarter from 2023, and it will catch up to that point. These other women here, I got a tube started for Edith Canala Olay, and for Eleanor Roosevelt, I have yet to see a Jovita Idar. I got a few Tall Chiefs. I haven't seen any Polly Murrays, and I have a half a tube of the Patsy Mink. So that finishes up the quarters. The nickels will finish it off. I have all the rolls I need to continue the hunt. There is $82.95 there to go along with the $17.05 I hunted from my sister's change, and that will make a box. I am 5 rolls in. I'm doing the shotgun rolls first. First of all, I found 2 in the 50s, a 52 Denver and a 54 Philly, and 2 Canadians, an 01 and a 2011. But as coming here, I look, and right off the bat, how's that? $19.39. I sure hope there's a D on this one. Nope. Still a nice find. And I noticed some more on here. Oh, there's a 1940. There we go. 1940 Denver. And I know I saw one other one. There it is. 1947 Philly. Pretty slick. Alright, very productive roll. I'm on the first of the regular hand wrap rolls. And I got a 1949 Philadelphia. Alright, I'm in the first of the bank wrap rolls. I had 20 of those. And right off the bat I come up and I saw this diamond there, and I tried to pick it out and it wouldn't come. And it's because it's all stuck together. So let me go and clean that up and see what it is. So it turned out to be taped and nothing special. It's a 2012 Denver. We're a nickel ahead. It's the next roll. Finally got one in the 40s. 1940 Philly. And I found before that 3 Canadians and 2 in the 50s, 55 Denver and a 57 Denver. There are 5 rolls left, and came up with another 1939. I'll check for that Denver in a bit. I also found the undated Buffalo nickel. I don't really show those as I find them because they make me sad. Anyway, I also got a 55 Denver and a 59 Denver and an 89 Canadian. But let's see if we got ourselves a Denver here. I need you for my book. Nope. Second from the last roll. I'm looking at that edge there. Now it looks more black than green, so I'm thinking it's a black beauty rather than silver. So let's take a look at that. $42. Well, it definitely has a silver look to it. Yeah. Alright, that's my second silver nickel. Fumble. It's my second silver nickel in 11 boxes. This will complete 11 boxes. And it came in the second from the last roll. Woohoo! This is that same roll. There's a 1941. That's a 1941 San Francisco. There it is. I just figured out this zoom function on the phone, and I've only been on this for 2 years. It's the same roll, a 1939. I've already seen the mint mark, and there isn't one. We'll take it. I have finished with the nickels. The only variety I found is on the scope, and this is going to be a 2023 Philadelphia DDR001. And where we're looking here is under the door, between the pillars. We're also looking at that T, top of the I, the C, and the E. So I have 2 other ones that show lesser states of the same air, and it's only a year old, so I'm just going to put them in a tube and let them marinate for a while and see if they come up with anything more specific on this one. Okay, then we get down to our summary of our finds. So of course we got that dime, we got that no date Buffalo nickel, 339 Phillies, no DDRs, a 40 Philly, a 40 Denver, and a 41 Denver. Find of the nickel hunt is this 42 San Francisco Silver War nickel. Very rare for me, only the second one I have found in 11 boxes. Also found a 47 Philly and a 49 Philly, 52 Denver, a 54 Philly, a 2 1955 Denvers, 57 Denver, and a 59 Denver. Canadians from 1971 to 1999. So the next thing, I'm going to look at those and look at those to see if I have any upgrades for the book, and I'll show you if I have any. what I originally reported as a 41 Denver turned out to be a 41 San Francisco. So I am going to replace that one. And I'm adding my silver, just the third of the book. Check those next against that book. In the second book, I'm going to upgrade the 1970 San Francisco and the 1974 Philadelphia. So these are the best finds of this video. I have the 1929 Lincoln penny. That will go into the book. I have a pretty beat up 1934 Denver. That'll go in the book, hopefully not for long. And then I had this 1976 DDO. I had the 1999 Denver DDR. And I had the 2013 WDDO 013, and that was in Wexler. I had a 1940 King George VI. Always good to find them. The absolute finds of this hunt are a 1942 San Francisco war nickel, only the second one I found in 11 boxes. And then my very first 90% constitutional silver. That came after searching 4 boxes of dimes, 4 boxes of quarters, and 4 boxes of $50. So they're out there, but hard to find. And then lastly, my quarters, not nearly as productive as the first part with my sisters, but I got another die chip on the claw for the Alaska quarter. I got a moderate chip on the hat. And I had that Kansas In God We Rust. So, not a bad hunt. So until next time, Matt Man's out. If you're getting any value at all out of this, please subscribe. Hit that like button. Share it with your friends. And hit that notification bell. Thank you very much.